The time has come, and so have I. Dreamkeepers Volume 4, Descent into the Archives. Hey, good job, Dave and Liz. This time it only took you 3 years to push out a new, one of the new ones.
It only took me 3 months!
But no, I'm kidding. I love you guys. No, seriously, I am very excited to bring you this review because each time a new Dreamkeepers comes out, it's like a new summer blockbuster. Everyone, well, I'm excited to see it at least. I'm a big fan of Dreamkeepers, so each time a new volume comes out, it's a special occasion for me. And let me just say, these volumes have been getting better and better as time goes on. Like, to be honest, I'm a little worried that I'm setting myself up for disappointment with these high expectations. Like, with each installment, they just keep getting better, and eventually they get to this point where they just can't get any better, and it just plateaus. And I totally just hit the mic there. Gonna bring this down a bit. Come on. Go. Oh, well, okay, yep. Okay, hopefully that's... I got a little bit more room. Anyways. Hi. But yeah, I'm worried that it doesn't get to the point that it just sort of plateaus, because I want to see Dreamkeepers continue to push that envelope. But anyways, what did I think of Volume 4, Descent into the Archives? With this volume, I feel that things are finally starting to take off. Like, all these little threads that have been established since Volume 1 are finally starting to converge into what the overarching goal of the story is supposed to be. And it's all just starting to gain momentum. Like the stuff that's been going on with the guards and them joining this secret organization that fights the nightmares, to stuff that's going down at the docks with Grun. And then on the flip side of things, you're focusing on the nightmares and the bad guys themselves like Tinsel. Very interesting that Dave and Liz are focusing so much to give attention to the antagonists in Dreamkeepers like Tinsel and Nabonidus. They're getting some character development of their own. It's crazy. We even get to learn what's going on with this girl. Remember her? Probably. I don't think it's really much of a spoiler to say that she dies on, like, the first page of Dreamkeepers. And as I said, all of these threads are starting to converge, and it feels like there is now a purpose and an end goal for our characters to achieve. Like, up until now, it feels like Mace and the crew have just been sort of strung along on a series of adventures. Like going from one action set piece to the next. And Mace and everyone is just sort of being dragged along. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Dave and Liz have been pulling it off excellently, having this balance of action and character development and plot progression. So I'm not saying that it's been bad so far, but it has felt like that there has been more action rather than story. And to balance this out, Dave and Liz have inserted these great character moments for the entire cast of just like showing them off and really getting into the nitty-gritty of what makes these characters tick. Like, throughout the progress of Dreamkeeper so far, I have learned a lot about Mace, Lilith, Nama, Bast, the guards even, surprisingly. Because they're forced into these situations and they have to improvise, and in these moments of them having to think on their feet, you get to learn really what their characters are like. But near the end of Volume 3, it did sort of feel like they were going, okay, alright, we're just sort of being dragged along with all these action set pieces, and with Volume 4, it seems like Dave and Liz just really sat down and just, okay, we're gonna paint the picture of what, like, the next few volumes are gonna be for the story. By just narrowing everything down into, like a few plot threads, more or less. There are a few problems I have with Volume 4, such as there are some parts where the story is interrupted by just these random panels, or it's interrupted once by just like one panel that didn't really feel like it needed to be there, and then later on there is another page, a whole page dedicated to giving a little bit of insight to a certain character's background, and it's sudden and jarring and in your face, and then it's never brought up again. So, like, I felt like that page was there more or less to put in, like, a little bit of a shock value and say, oh, okay, so that's why the character does this. But why? It didn't take away a whole lot, but it was definitely something that made me question, why did this need to be here? But that was really my only complaint about Volume 4. Everything else was just great as usual. The art, the lighting, the dialogue, the characters, just all of it is good. I could go on for like the next 10 minutes just gushing about how great Dreamkeepers is, but I'm not. I'm not going to waste your time. I'm just going to say it's great. It's Dreamkeepers is worth its medal. It's worth the praise. It's worth the read. And you owe it to yourself to read it. So go pick up yourself a copy of Dreamkeepers Volume 4, Descend into the Archives. You can get a digital copy or a printed copy. And if you want to know the story so far, hey, you're in luck because the first 3 volumes are available online to read completely free. All you have to do is go to dreamkeeperscomic.com and you can read up on the story so far. It's like there's really no excuse for you not to read. And you know what? While you're there, and if you're interested in reading more Dreamkeepers, you can catch up on Dave and Liz's comic Prelude, which is basically set years before Dreamkeepers, and it tells the story of Mace and Bast and Lilith and Nama as they were kids, and eventually Prelude will lead directly into the events of Dreamkeepers. And I suggest reading it because Dave and Liz just released their printed physical collection of Prelude in one volume, which I plan on reviewing next time. So be excited for that, right? Yeah. Which will happen in like 4 months.